Hey guys, welcome to a very exciting video. My name is Angel.
And I'm Gavin.
We are finally moving. So for the past few months, I've been so obsessed with apartment hunting. I've been looking out for apartment videos, apartment tours, and browsing every single day what's in the market. And even though we haven't really talked about moving, especially during the pandemic, incentives in the market persuaded me into motivating him to move. I mean, honestly, a long debate and months of discussion before I finally convinced this guy to move.
A lot of convincing. To give you a little background, we've lived together in a bachelor unit. I first moved in here back in 2017. Angel moved in here just before the pandemic started. The pandemic, a lot of people have been moving out of Toronto. A lot of prices come down. So there's been a lot of incentives like
move into this apartment or condo and you'll get a free iPhone 12 or you'll get a new iPad.
Or you can have an entire year's worth of parking free. And I think there's been a couple where you can have like a month or two free.
So today we're gonna walk you guys through the process of apartment, show you different one bedrooms. We toured east end of Toronto, show you how much the prices of each apartment, because why not? So to give you a rough idea, one bedroom apartment in Toronto costs about $1,450 to $2,200. This also depends if it's a condo or an apartment.
An apartment is owned by like a management group. A condo is owned by like an individual who bought it and then they chose to rent it out to other people. And condos are typically a little bit more modern. Common facilities you can use, like either like a gym, patio, barbecue area. One we even saw had like a pet washing station, which was pretty funny. Apartments are a little bit more outdated. Typically have those like really famous yellow tiles. If you've lived in Toronto, you probably know what tiles I'm talking about. But we have been starting to see apartments raise their game with like the kitchen. Because the kitchen is important to me, so I will be talking about that a lot today. If you're looking for a condo, we would recommend using condos.ca, where you can search an apartment based on the neighborhood you like. So for us, it was the East End. What I love about this is you can search the age of the building. If you're looking for a particular condo, you can view multiple units in that same building. In case if the one you were looking for sold or rented out, it means there's other options in that building that you can quickly find. Besides that, you can also use xoxo.ca.
So for apartments, easier to look through Facebook Marketplace. They don't only have apartments but condo units as well. Sorting out according to your budget is so easy, and since I know the location we want to live in, I just usually look through the map and navigate through the neighborhood and see the prices of each units in the area. However, make sure to confirm with the agents or landlord the price of the unit before coming in to see the unit, because sometimes the price listed is not the exact price of the apartment.
Look at least a month or 2 to 3 weeks in advance. Since there are so many choices now, since everyone's moving out of the city, you can kind of take your time as long as you give your proper notice with your apartment. If not, be prepared to do a overlap,
which we don't suggest. So things you need to have to prepare before touring an apartment: credit score, a letter of employment, 2 to 3 recent payslip, photocopy of your photo ID, first and last month rent, and landlord's reference. So finally, let's dive into the apartment tours.
So since we lived in a bachelor apartment, we wanted to upgrade to a slightly bigger unit. We're looking for a 1-bedroom or a junior 1-bedroom apartment that is under $1,600. Near the water, since we like living in the East End and we like going paddleboarding, we like having picnics down on the waterfront, and just seeing the lake in general. Growing up in Kingston and growing up in the Philippines, we're kind of used to being around the water. We're also looking for a slightly bigger kitchen because, I don't know, we might show you some examples of our kitchen. It's kind of small, kind of sucks, especially our oven. We're also looking to have, more importantly, a goal to be able to save up to buy a house in the near future. Probably 3 years to 5 years at max, depending on how things go. But that is the main end goal. So we want an upgrade, but we also want to be financially responsible to be able to save for the future and also to go out and do activities. We don't want to be house broke, essentially.
We are very excited to living at the east end of Toronto, which is the neighborhood we live in right now. So all the apartments that we're going to show you are all located at the east end. Okay, so for the first apartment that we saw, just 2 minutes walk away from the lake, which you love, like how big the windows are and the character of the apartment. Considering it's facing north and east, it's very bright.
But this apartment appliances are pretty outdated. The floor creaks every time we walk, and it's kind of out of the way from the grocery store area that we like. Sadly, the building didn't have any elevators as well, so it'd be pretty hard to bring the laundry down in the basement, especially
if you don't lift.
So for the second is the Condom Building, located at the east end. We saw basically 2 units. The unit was pretty modern, has stainless steel stove, dishwasher, washer and dryer that will make our laundry so much easier. The lighting in this unit was pretty incredible. Although there is a balcony, there's really no good view.
Coming from living in an apartment, it was really tempting to get a modern, nice kitchen and finally have a washer in the unit, but because it's still being built, won't be able to fully use the balcony yet. And additionally, since it's a condo, hydro and water is usually not included, and that would be the case with this unit.
The second unit that we saw in this building is basically the same style, however it comes with a den. This one is listed as $1670. The agent told us that we can negotiate the rate, however it's still out of our budget. Although we almost signed in this apartment, we decided not to because the space in the living room is also kind of small. We didn't like that the kitchen is part of the living room. Additionally, since it's a new build, it won't be rent controlled. The floor plan is kind of narrow as well.
It's one of those long, skinny. We talked about this a lot. We wanted our next move to be a bit of a stopgap where we could be staying there at least potentially 3 years to be able to save up for a future house. Yes, the prices for condos are looking pretty low at the moment in Toronto, but that's not a guarantee that they're going to stay that way in the near future. Once the pandemic is firmly over and when your lease comes up, there's no guarantee that the price is going to stay that way. The prices with condos, since they're not rent controlled, they're able to hike the prices up way more than you're used to being in a rent controlled building.
Although we talk about our concern to the landlord and to the agent, they're willing to write into the contract that they can only up the price to $150 when we sign into the next lease. It's still a big amount that we're used to, considering in the rent control apartment, the increase is usually just about $20 to $25 a year.
The agent we were dealing with was so persistent that we could get either a promotion, we could get a better job, we could also be working 2 jobs to be able to pay for these pay increases after the 1-year lease is up. And we were just here sitting being like, well, we could also be laid off at any time.
So moving on the same building we were living in, we asked to see some units from our superintendent. Basically, we saw about 6 to 7 units from a junior bedroom to a full 1 bedroom, listed as $1550. But the price went down to $1450 on the second time that we saw this unit. It looks really old and outdated, but it's still more spacious than the other unit we saw. Plus, there's so much potential that we can do to this unit.
We have absolutely no problems with the building. There's no bed bugs, there's no cockroaches compared to other buildings. Honestly, one of the top buildings I've been in with management, just being able to help out and just answer and reply and get back to you so soon. One of the cons though with this building is the laundry room. It's still outdated that it still uses a coin-based system rather than those cards that you can just load the funds onto the card. I have to go down to the bank, and especially with the pandemic, I have to go to the bank even more frequently just to get some change. And it's gotten to the point that when I walk in, they already have the change waiting for me, and they're just like, laundry again? Yep. Gotta do that laundry.
So on to the next. So we saw 3 units in the same building. First one is the junior bedroom. Comes with a stainless steel stove, dishwasher, microwave is also built into the wall, and has a lovely dark hardwood floor. There's so much lighting in this unit. So much fun taking photos and even doing videos in this unit. Additionally, it's also facing the south. It has such a nice view of the lake.
This unit is great, but with the furniture we have, a little tight to squeeze into. We'd probably have to spend a little bit more money to downsize our furniture, which isn't 100% what we wanted to do because we wanted to put the money towards creating the bedroom. The closet space is also a little bit tiny. We kind of have a lot of things there. Storage is also very important. That would have been one of the main downsides, is the living room is a little small and just not enough closet space.
The next one that we saw is a 1-bedroom apartment, which is listed as $1675. We love all the counter space. This is Gavin's dream apartment. The floor plan in this unit is the best among everything that we saw. It's not as narrow.
It was pretty wild. But we found out that there is no light fixture in the bedroom. I'm not sure why that is becoming a normal thing in apartments and also condos. I've seen a number of them in our search for a new place, and 50 or 60% of them don't have light fixtures in the bedroom, and I don't know why that's becoming a thing. Please put the light fixtures back in the bedroom. The other downside with the unit is that there is no water included in the apartment, more so for the modern units. If they are getting one of the outdated units, water is included Other downside, which isn't like a main downside, this unit is north facing. You still get a lot of natural light. Like when we were there was a lot of light. You don't get the same amount of light that you would get if you were looking south. You would get a nice view of the lake.
The next one is a 1-bedroom, which is actually not renovated. Same size as the regular unit or the last unit that we saw. However, this wasn't renovated and everything is outdated, but still functional.
It's not a bad unit considering the size of it. It's very budget friendly. But the downside about this building is that even though we personally really like the apartments and the person who was giving us a tour, the main problem is we've had a lot of our friends and people that we know that have lived in the area. There's some drugs going on. Nice unit, but just a little bit too much drama, and we like to be a little bit drama free.
So that's a wrap of our apartment tour. On the next vlog, we will be showing you what is our chosen apartment, and yeah.
Thanks for watching.